I'll tell you one that came out about a week ago, and I haven't heard anything, which is very unlike him, but that's the Notorious. Dana White spoke about Conor McGregor and said, I expect to have him back by summer. Now, when I heard Dana himself say, I expect to have Conor back by summer, you're doing the math in your head. Okay, somewhere around that July, let's just call it August to give him a little more time, but that's when summer runs out. I thought it was going to be a wave of people coming after him. I thought Conor would be speaking up, but I thought all the other boys would be speaking up too, trying to line themselves. I haven't heard anybody. It was a little bit of a surprise for me. Why is that? There appears to be two fights meaningfully in the lead. A couple of furlongs, if you will, in front of everybody else for Conor. Dustin Poirier and Nate Diaz. There's a lot of difference between Dustin Poirier and Nate Diaz, though. I would love to hear your guys' opinion, particularly when you're armed with the fact that Diaz has one left. So if this is the last chance to get those two guys together, or you're never going to get it, does that pull you stronger into that direction? I think that it does. But it is relevant because where is Conor returning to? If it's at 155, it's got to be Poirier. If it's going to be at 170, now Nate is in the conversation. If Poirier is going to move up to 170, is Poirier going to stay at 170, which he has talked about doing, which changes the entire landscape of that division for the next 24 months? It's just interesting. I don't have an overwhelming point there. But which one? It's not the same guy. Conor's not going to sit back and go, give me either one, I don't care. Well, one means you go to 170, one means you stay at 55. You're weighing 190 according to your pictures you're putting out. Do you want to get down to 55 with all the other stresses that you have? I mean, right, there's a real conversation. It's not the same guy. It's a very different matchup. And I'm just surprised and bringing it to your attention that we did get a little bit of evidence. We got a headline on Conor that he's coming back in the summer, which isn't all that far away. I mean, it's halfway through the year, of which we're already a month into. In all fairness, it's going to feel like tomorrow training camps and contract and media tours, they're going to be here within 90 days. Who's that opponent going to be? And I thought people would be speaking up from all angles. I'm not hearing that. Justin Gaethje weighed in on something. It was his own fight. Somebody asked Gaethje about him and his fight with Chandler, which was not only fight of the night, it was a fight of the year. And they asked Gaethje what he thought, and Gaethje said, I thought it was boring. Now, generally when a guy gives you an answer like that, he's being a petulant child that just wants you to tell him what a good job he did. Remember those guys, you'd be in class at first grade or something, everybody does a drawing, and you look at the guy that did the best drawing, you go, oh my God, that is so good. And he goes, oh, really? I didn't really like it. I made mistakes. Just so you keep telling him what a good job he did. That's not what Gaethje was doing here. Gaethje even went a little bit further, and Gaethje said it's one of the few nights when I was so focused on winning instead of knocking him out. Gaethje was letting us into his mindset, and the mind of Justin Gaethje is a very interesting place. That is one of the great competitors in the history of sport. Justin Gaethje is going to bring his skills against anybody he takes on, and he's never going to quit no matter how hurt or tired he is. That's what a competitor is. It's pretty simple, but it's hard to do. Gaethje is as gritty and as gutsy as anybody. I never knew how good Khabib was until the night he beat Gaethje. Because I did not feel that he beat Gaethje once. I felt Khabib beat him twice. I felt that armbar was night-ending, and Khabib let it go, and I saw him do it. Then, of course, he did finish the fight, but it was absolute dominance and absolute control. It looked as though the real Justin Gaethje didn't show up. Brought it none of the skills. Oh, that was the real Justin Gaethje, believe me. Justin Gaethje always shows up. So it just spoke to how good Khabib was, but now Gaethje's letting you in on his mindset, and he's talking about, I got to knock guys out. I got to not just go out there and try to win. And Gaethje's going to put himself in his best frame of mind as he goes into the biggest fight of his career, which will be a world championship fight next with Charles Oliveira, and he's giving you an inside look. He does not want to beat people. He wants to beat people up. He does not want to win rounds against opponents. He wants to put opponents to sleep. He has very bad intentions. It's very interesting when you get in the mind of a guy like that, because you don't meet many of them. You ever meet Gaethje in person, walk right up and talk to him. You'll like him just fine. He'll welcome you. He'll be a polite guy. But you still will know when you leave, I just dealt with a different guy. That guy's not like me. That guy's not like other people. And I do think if you watch this interview, particularly when Gaethje first off says he thought it was boring, but second he qualifies it, says, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to go out and try to beat anybody again. I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to knock people out. That right there is a powerful statement.